friends, and welcome back to my channel. I felt really called to do a pick a card reading today. So today we're going to be looking at your person's feelings for you, and we're going to get some channeled messages. So for each pile, I'm going to do an energy check so that you know if it's your pile or not. And if you aren't resonating with at least one side of the energy check, then it means it's probably not your reading. And if you aren't resonating with any of the energy checks and you feel called to, you can always check out my other pick a card readings. I have them, if you go to playlists on my channel, I have all of my pick a cards under the pick a card playlist, and they're all timeless readings. And I myself, as an avid tarot watcher, I often find that even pick a card readings from years ago resonate with me sometimes. So I just wanted to mention that as well. So let's get into the piles so that you know which one you want to choose. Just listen to your intuition and don't be too hard on yourself if your intuition calls you to a pile and then the energy check doesn't match with your energy. Just go ahead and pick another pile. There's no right or wrong here is what I'm hearing. So for pile number 1, I also have all the decks listed in the description box below, but I have to tell you that these 2 tarot decks are currently not in print, or they're not being printed right now. I listed them anyway, but I just wanted to mention that. So for pile number 1, we have this little wolf. For pile number 2, we have this hippo. Whoops. And for pile number 3, we have this owl. So if you need a moment to sit with the energy, feel free to pause the video here and I will see you at your pile. Hello pile 1, and welcome to your reading. If you chose pile 1 and this little wolf, then welcome to your reading. This is going to be a reading about how your person is currently feeling about you. So we're going to start with the energy check. So I have pre-shuffled some oracle cards, and I feel called to say that I'm actually going to call in. I know that usually what I do is I say this is you and this is your person, but for some reason for your pile I'm feeling called to say person A and person B, and once I get the cards out, I'll probably start calling this side by the animal card and this side by the animal card. So I'm not specifically saying that you're going to be on this side. I want you to choose whatever side you resonate with. No matter what side you resonate with, the tarot will still be about your person's feelings towards you. So hopefully that's not too confusing. I'm not sure if the other piles are going to be like that, but for this pile, Spirit's telling me to not put you or box you in to this side for whatever reason. So maybe for some of you, you're going to resonate with this side, but let's get into it. So I'm going to lay down the cards and then I'll explain them all. So for person A, which we're going to call the squirrel person, we have squirrel activity. I haven't decided how I'm going to lay these cards out yet. I'll put this here. We have the gallery of those who came before. So for this side, you could resonate with having ADHD. You could also be someone who is an artist or likes art. You don't have to resonate with that, but with this gallery with the artwork, you could be an art lover or be an artist. And with the squirrel always reminds me of someone who has ADHD, so I wanted to mention that in case it's an extra confirmation for you. We also have the kookaburra, which I believe is from, don't quote me on this, but I believe the kookaburra is from Australia. I'm not sure about that, but that could be another confirmation for you here. And then we have the riddle. And what I find really interesting about this card is we have 2 hands reaching for this pearl, And then kind of faded here together, these two hands are holding. So take that as it resonates. And for the other person, we have the eel. So this person will be the eel person. We have in between worlds, and we have more imagery of hands, but I'm feeling called to mention that these two hands aren't actually touching. What do I want to do here? I think I might do this. I don't know. The first pile is always the one where I experiment with where the cards go or where they feel right. So thank you for being my test subjects, pile one. So we have the eel and in between worlds. We have the Eurasian blue tilt. And we have the self. All right, and then I just want to make sure this is all fitting, and then I'll check it in the camera. So for the connecting energy, we have the heart chakra, which is number 4. And we have fabrication. So I'm not going to spend too much time over analyzing or trying to figure out if you and this person are together or talking. You will know if you are or not. I am tempted to say that there is some sort of disconnect here. If you are talking, I don't think that there's... I don't think that there is... How can I put this? If you are talking... I don't know if you're actually with this person. There could be low communication. For a lot of you, I feel like there is a disconnect or you aren't talking to this person, but only you will know if you're resonating with these piles or not. So we're going to start with the squirrel person. So the squirrel does talk about being hyper-focused on something. And the squirrel card also talks about needing to take that hyper focus off of something and tend to maybe the things you don't like you've been putting off, or focusing on the things that maybe you don't want to focus on. So for example, you know, maybe the squirrel person has been hyper fixated on the outcome of this connection, or grounding this connection, or being in a committed relationship. Or they've been hyper-focused on the eel person. And right now, the squirrel card is calling for the squirrel person to take their attention off of the outcome and to focus on the things that maybe they've been putting off. One of those things that maybe the squirrel person has been putting off is working on their childhood wounding and working on their own patterns and behaviors, removing negativity from their life. Like I said, you could have ADHD, or sorry, the squirrel person could have ADHD. I'm also feeling called to the fact that the squirrel card, it is showing kind of a winter scene here. This card is called the Winter Sleep Animal Oracle, but not all of the images show winter. And one of the things about squirrels is they spend most of their time in the spring and fall storing things away for the winter. So the squirrel person could be in a winter period right now where they're having to rely on their own resources, if that makes sense. The kookaburra, I have the kookaburra set aside here for you. So the kookaburra represents negative energy elimination energy protection, strong support, excellent adaptability. So right now it feels like the squirrel person is being protected or protecting their energy. And if you look at this squirrel is actually holding something close to its heart, protecting its energy. So you could be the squirrel could be protecting their energy from this connection right now, especially their own heart space with the heart chakra here. That's really all I have to say about the kookaburra. Like I said, it's the eliminator of negative energy. So the squirrel person could be working on eliminating negative energy from their life right now. Negative energy, negative mindsets. Now, the gallery of those who came before does talk about the people who came before us. So for the squirrel person, I do feel like there is the energy of perhaps looking at childhood wounding, and the fact that you chose the wolf. The wolf does talk about how in a wolf pack, the children of the parents are supposed to follow in their parents' footsteps. So I'm not sure how that's resonating for the squirrel person, but I think that overall the energy in this pile, what I'm hearing is with the gallery of those who came before us, is that the squirrel is realizing that they don't have to follow in their parents' footsteps. I feel like both of these people don't want to follow in their parents' footsteps when it comes to perhaps the way that these two were raised. I'm hearing like childhood wounding. So for example, like if the squirrel person had a parent who had quite negative energy, even like a manipulative parent, the squirrel person is focusing on the fact that they don't want to follow in their parents' footsteps. I'm actually just going to hold on to this wolf for a minute. It's also possible that for some of the squirrel people that they're currently being mentored by someone or getting counseling or being advised in some way. I'm feeling called to hold on to this wolf for a minute. Now, the riddle is an interesting card because it does talk about an energy of wanting answers, wanting to know the outcome, but that right now the squirrel person is not meant to know the outcome. The squirrel person is meant to be focusing on themselves, like I said, focusing on the people who came before them and maybe how they don't want to follow in those same footsteps. If you look at this, there's also this imagery of a caterpillar, and the head of the caterpillar is a star. And to me, the star represents healing. And they're looking up at these photos of butterflies. So it feels like there is some sort of transformation going on within the squirrel's energy. Now, the riddle card, I also have that bookmarked for you. The puzzle, the question, the mystery. A great awakening or aha moment. But when the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. So again, it feels like the squirrel person has been very fixated on this connection or on the outcome. And the riddle actually calls to take your focus off of that and to stop searching for the answer and to stop trying to force the outcome and let things unfold naturally. It cannot be found and ultimately is not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical, from logic to mythic. You are thinking too small and literally about the situation. So the squirrel person needs to get out or is getting out of a logical mindset. Like the squirrel person could have been looking at this connection in a very logical mindset. And the riddle is saying that there's something, how can I put that? The riddle card is saying that you can't look at this situation logically because I feel like this is a spiritual connection. And you almost have to trust your inner knowing and trust your intuition, or the squirrel does when it comes to this connection. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, and we have eel over here as mystery. So the eel person could be quite guarded right now in quite a mysterious energy, causing the squirrel not to know what's going on with this connection. There also could have been with the remover of negative energy. And the riddle does talk about elusive energy. It even talks about manipulation. So it could be that logically... I also mentioned that perhaps the squirrel's parents could have been manipulative, or had manipulative tendencies. But it could be that the squirrel person has been hyper-focused on feeling like they were being manipulated by the eel, and there's a call to that you need to look, the squirrel person needs to look at this connection not from a logical standpoint. So what I mean by that is, logically on paper, it could have looked like the eel was manipulating the situation or had manipulative tendencies, and perhaps because the squirrel person had a manipulative parent, it was triggering the squirrel. I hope that makes sense. This is, I'm having a hard time getting into this energy, but I'm starting to get into it. So please be patient with me. Perhaps the squirrel person and the eel person have had to be patient with this connection. Focusing harder on this won't do it. That's what the riddle card says. So the squirrel focusing all of their attention on the outcome or on the logistics of this connection isn't helping anything, is what this riddle card is saying. Focusing harder won't do it. Neither will increased effort. Time, surrender, and humor are your only allies. What feels like the most pressing dilemma won't reveal its deeper wisdom for a while. Eventually, you'll learn a profound lesson from the riddle. For now, get comfortable with the limitations of your intellect and the reality of not knowing. So there is a call for the squirrel person to kind of surrender this to divine timing, surrender this to the universe, that it doesn't matter how much the squirrel person focuses on this or tries to force the situation or tries to think about it logically, that time is needed. And that there's a profound lesson to be learned from this connection. Hopefully that made sense. Like I said, when in light, a great awakening or aha moment. So I feel like the squirrel person is meant to be going through an aha moment right now. And one of the things I'm hearing is that one of those aha moments could be that this person, the eel person, was triggering wounds from the squirrel person's childhood. However, that's resonating. I don't know why I can't put this wolf down. So we're going to go over to the eel person now. So the eel is, we'll start with the eel. So it does look like right now the eel is kind of tangled up in this mysterious energy. Perhaps there's not much action being taken. There's something very interesting about this card. So right before I started this reading, before I even pulled these cards, I started thinking, and this won't resonate for everyone, but I have to mention it. I started thinking about asexuality. And I was specifically thinking about what cards in the tarot represent asexuality. So I actually looked it up, and it's the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Hearts, the Ace of Cups. When those two cards come out together, it can represent asexuality. This isn't, I don't think this is a time or place to go into what being asexual means. I don't know if I'm the right person to describe what that means either, but it's possible that the eel person has struggled with their sexuality or their gender. This could be someone who is non-binary, or this could be someone who's never quite connected with their gender. This could also be someone who has struggled with their sexuality or is asexual. Like I said, I don't think this is a time or place for me to go over what that means. You can look up what it means to be asexual, but someone who is, I'll just briefly describe it because I find it very strange that that popped into my head and I looked up the tarot cards for it. And then I pulled the eel for this side, and the eel specifically talks about asexuality. So I'll just briefly describe it. I'm sure I'm missing a lot, but being asexual, like I said, is it's someone who's not really all of a sudden, as I'm talking about this, I'm feeling very nervous. So it could be that whoever the eel person is still struggling with that aspect of themselves. And I feel like I'm having a really hard time getting my words out about this. So I feel like this could be something that this person struggles with. They could be in between worlds with their own sexuality, for example. But being asexual means, again, why am I having such a hard time? I'm sure there are better resources out there than me to describe what it means, but my understanding of it is that, people who are asexual sometimes don't have interest in sexual relations, or they're not really attracted to sexual encounters or specific bodies. They could even struggle with, like being naked or being intimate with other people. I know that some people who are asexual also resonate or identify with being demisexual. And what that means is they're not attracted to a specific gender or they're not attracted to a body, but they're attracted to the person, they're attracted to the soul, they're attracted to the connection. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm having a hard time describing it. So I do feel like whoever this is could resonate with being asexual, and perhaps that's an aspect of their self that they're really struggling with right now, or trying to identify with, or needing to come out. I feel like this is something that they're starting to be honest with themselves about. Also, the fact that we have the pearl here and the pearl over here, it could be that this is something that the eel person kind of had to work through without the help of the squirrel. This is an interesting reading to me. I apologize for whoever's losing patience with me right now. Also, the fact that the connecting energy is the heart chakra shows that this is a heart-based connection. So like I said, if this is someone who is asexual, then they are attracted to the squirrel's heart. They're attracted to the connection with the squirrel more so than a sexual connection. I hope that's making sense. I'm just gonna go to the book for the eel. Like I said, that really stood out to me, the asexual part about the eel. And the eel moving through darkness and trusting instincts. So right now, the eel person is trying to trust their instincts, and it does feel like they're in some sort of darkness right now, especially with the self card. This is someone who is finally glimpsing their true self. They're finally starting to open up to their true self here with the Self card. And the eel, it talks about being plagued by uncertainty or in a situation where you feel like you are in the dark in some way. So I just want to be clear that even if you don't resonate with being asexual and your person, you don't know that your person resonates with being asexual. I'm not saying that the eel person is asexual, but I hope that YouTube doesn't flag this for me saying the word sexual so many times. But I needed to mention it. It's not going to resonate with everyone, but there's a reason that it popped into my mind right before I pulled these cards, and I looked up specifically what tarot cards resonated or connected to being asexual. There's a reason for everything. It was a download I got right before I started this reading. And I have to say, throughout your entire reading, my heart has been pounding with this heart chakra card. So you could be experiencing, this is connecting energy. So I feel like both of you are experiencing a heart opening. Or there's a blockage in the heart chakra that's being released. So I'm not a medical professional. Of course, if someone here could have a stutter, if you are feeling any type of heart pain, of course, get it medically checked out. But what I felt called to say is you could be feeling heart palpitations right now, or you could feel like your heart's skipping a beat with that heart chakra. That is symbolic of a heart chakra awakening or opening. So let's get back to your person. I wanted to start focusing on this heart chakra card, but I want to get back to this person. So the advice for the eel is to rely on their gut, look to their dreams and feelings, and trust their misgivings. It encourages us to think in ways that are less binary, less traditional. Much as an eel can leave the water and move through grass, you may need to find some unconventional ways to navigate your circumstances. It may be a time for you to enter a period of deep connection with your own voice and feelings and yourself. So this eel is truly needing to connect with their self and not with the outside world, not with the squirrel person, but with themselves. They truly are in between worlds here, and it's a time for them to focus on themselves. And I think that's why the advice for the squirrel person is it doesn't matter how much focus you put on this person. It doesn't matter how much you try and help them. Right now, this is something they need to go through on their own. So a deep connection with their own voice and feelings rather than the outside world. The obvious ways for operating or the most straightforward solutions are not right for the eel at this moment. Let the dark be your ally. So right now this person is kind of sitting in the darkness. And I think I glossed over this, but something that the squirrel card talked about is that the squirrel maybe needs to focus on things that they've been overlooking in their life. So maybe right now the squirrel person is needing to focus on work, or needing to focus on their own healing, or needing to focus on anything but the eel person, even if they don't want to. So seek out, I'm going back to the squirrel for a minute. Seek out the unsavory tasks, the unpopular jobs, the pain points in a process. There are endless opportunities hiding in the things that you've been neglecting. Hopefully that makes sense. So the Eurasian blue tilt, let's talk about that card for a minute. This is actually a beautiful card. I haven't used this deck on my channel yet. I've been saving it for my next pick a card. Faithful love, trust, positivity, don't give up. So right now the eel person is being called to not give up and to focus on positivity and faithful love. So again, there could be an aspect of asexuality within the eel. And maybe if you're the squirrel, you don't know that about the eel person. Maybe the eel person doesn't even know that about themselves. This eel person could have struggled with this for a while, not really understanding it. Anyway, I somewhat resonate with the eel. I'm not gonna lie. I somewhat resonate with the eel. So I'm sending love and light to the eel. This eel person maybe has never understood why they are the way they are. Just in case you're the eel and you are struggling with that aspect of yourself, just a little tidbit about me. I've often been called, like in my readings, people laugh at me or they call me a prude when like sex comes up, because I often am very awkward about talking about it. This is an aspect that I resonate with. So my entire life, I always said that I felt like I'm a broken girl. Like I never resonated with being a girl. Not that I ever wanted to be a man or anything. And this is something that confused me my entire life about myself, why I struggled with some of the things I was talking about. And a few years ago when I spiritually awakened, right after I spiritually awakened, I don't know why I'm telling you this. Maybe some people watching this are part of my soul tribe. I have no idea why I'm telling you this when there's people that I've known for years that I haven't told this. But after I spiritually awakened, it was kind of like a domino effect in my life. And after I spiritually awakened, two of my children, who are almost 13 now, came to me and were very open and honest with me about how they struggled with their own gender identity. And it was through my children being brave and coming to me that it caused me to look within myself and finally explore why I struggled with my own gender identity and my own sexuality. So if you are resonating with that, or you are connected to a person that's resonating with that, I am sending whoever this is lots of love and light, because it can be a difficult thing. And like I said, I find it very strange that I had a download about this before I even pulled this card. Well, I don't find it strange. It makes sense. But anyway, and again, the whole time I'm doing this reading, I'm having major heart palpitations. So I just wanted to mention that. So in between worlds. So this card is about those who walk on the edge in between two worlds. Edgewalkers can have a hard time functioning on the structures set out for them because part of their job is to blur the lines that hold us in form. They may feel crazy, like how did I get here and why? When you are neither one or the other. Oh no, my headphones are dying. I'm going to have to pause this and plug in my headphones. When you are neither one nor the other, there can be a loss of belonging and a difficulty to feel grounded. The more that I tap into this energy, the more it sounds like this is someone who is, could be exploring their own sexuality or gender identity. Part of your magic is that you are not all here. Wouldn't it be easy to just fit into place and go about your life with ease, like you are just floating on through? Unfortunately, that's not for you. It doesn't mean that you won't find peace in your life, which can be very much a reality for you. Part of your job by having a connection to the world outside of ours is to bring wisdom. but discovering new truths isn't always easy for people to stomach. So with this knowledge, try to be gentle even when you feel like you must crush down every falsehood in front of you. So clearly, like, even if your person or you don't resonate with what I'm talking about with asexuality, clearly this person is going through a major transformation where they are truly needing to look within right now and move through this darkness and awaken, despite what the people around them think about them or about spirituality or about sexuality or about gender identity. I have this is an intense one. So let's look at self. I'm hoping that I'm actually gonna plug in my headphones, so I'm just gonna pause it. All right, so hopefully my voice didn't change too much. Apparently my headphones don't work when they're plugged in. This reading is messed up. I never film readings like this without my headphones, so I still have my headphones on. I am neurodivergent. I'm very sensitive to noise, so I always wear headphones. But now it sounds weird because I no longer have, because my headphones aren't on, connected to my phone. Anyway, this is such a weird reading. So hopefully my voice didn't change too much because, like I said, my headphones aren't hooked up anymore. So before, my voice could have been coming through my microphone on my headphones, and now it's going directly to my phone. So hopefully that's not too distracting for anyone. Even though I feel like I'm very distracted or distracting for you in this reading. I'm really hoping that that resonates with someone because it was coming through so clearly. So I had to mention it. So we have the self, which I just have to find in the book. Like I said, even if the ill person doesn't resonate with all of those things I talked about, this person is in between worlds from their old self and their higher self. And they're moving through darkness right now, and they're being called not to give up because they're almost there. They're about to reach their true self. I'm seeing the Spirit Dragon card. They're glimpsing the self behind the self, and their ego is falling away is what I'm hearing. So, witnessing and accepting new aspects of self. So like I said, even if we take all of that stuff about gender and sexuality off the table, this person is witnessing and accepting new aspects of self. And this squirrel person could have tried to help the eel person get there, but only the eel person is the only one who can reach their true self. The eel person is the only one who can do the work. And right now, like I said, they're in between worlds, between their past self and their true self. So they truly are in a transition period, moving through the darkness, moving through the discomfort with the eel. So the self is the prism that allows the spectrum of our personalities to radiate. It does not judge, prohibit, suppress, or oppress any of its parts, as it lovingly knows that all aspects have a time and a place and leads us to experiences of full breadth and life's offerings. The awareness of the infinite universe of possibilities. When this card appears, it's a call to step back into witness consciousness, to observe yourself navigating the world. In most situations, our ego draws us into the cauldron where we swirl, spin, and smolder in chaos. Yet the self is a graceful culinary dancer, watching, waiting, observing as the spectrum of ingredients become the flavor of our life. Look in the mirror for 30 seconds or more. Attempt to see the you behind the you. So that's why I was seeing that dragon card. They're glimpsing the self behind the self. And I actually feel called to look at that dragon card. This might be one of the first pick a cards where I didn't use my favorite animal deck. I decided to branch out and use a different animal deck. So the dragon, seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. So again, this is the eel's energy. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When the dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. So this card is very similar to the dragon because this card is a call to step back and drop into witness consciousness. And I feel like with the in-between world cards, the eel person is in the middle of an amazing transformation where they're about to truly glimpse the self behind the self. When we look in the mirror deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one watching us. This is the power of the dragon breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and as we traverse the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes sees beauty everywhere. Anyway, so hopefully I didn't confuse a bunch of people with that, with the eel's side, but I needed to, Spirit wanted me to talk about all of that. So now the connecting energy. So right now the connecting energy, there is an energy where the squirrel person and the eel person are feeling or being called to focus on themselves, on their own hearts, on their own self-love. I feel like both of these people could have had a blocked heart chakra. And a blocked heart chakra does come from, well, let me just look it up for you. Hopefully my iPad's charged. I just want to look at what causes a blocked heart chakra. Blocked heart chakra. Feeling unworthy, unable to trust in yourself or others. There must be more. Feelings of loneliness, jealousy, difficulty trusting others, trouble forming healthy relationships, difficulty forgiving or releasing past hurts, lack of empathy, difficulty expressing love and compassion, being overly critical of yourself or others. What can cause a blocked heart chakra? Heartbreak, loss, betrayal, the fear of vulnerability, feeling unworthy or not deserving of love, not allowing oneself to feel or express emotions, beliefs like love is painful or I'm not good enough. How to unblock the heart chakra? Practice self-compassion. Forgive yourself and others. Release anger, resentment, and negative emotions that may be holding you back. And the kookaburra is being called to, the squirrel is being called to release negative energies. Spend time with loved ones. Participate in activities that bring you joy. Practice empathy towards others. Using positive affirmations. So right now the connecting, like I said, the connecting energy between you is the heart chakra. So you're connected. You're connected on a level of the heart. And right now I feel like both the squirrel person and the eel person are being called to focus on their own stability, their own self-love, and healing that heart chakra. So the frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and body. And fabrication. So fabrication, it does have a tarantula on it, and that animal deck that I love so much. The tarantula does talk about being at a crossroads, so I feel like this connection is currently at a crossroads. You know, the tarantula talks about needing to claim one's life purpose. Maybe the squirrel person is an artist. Like I said, maybe that's their life purpose, or needing to claim their true self. And fabrication does talk about this is not a time to see the rewards of your efforts. This is not a time, it specifically says, it's not a time for a pat on the back or the abundance of reward. Right now is a time for both of these people to use their tools to weave and create their multiverse. So right now, the connecting energy is both of these people are meant to be, they're kind of in like magician energy. They're meant to be focusing on their own universe, their own shadows, their own healing, if that makes sense. All right. If that's resonating, I apologize if that was confusing for anyone, but we needed to get through it. So if that resonates, we're going to look at the tarot to see how your person is currently feeling about you. We do have the Three of Swords right away on the bottom, so that does show heartbreak, separation. There we have the Ace of Swords, and I said that the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups can, specifically when together, can point to asexuality. But in separation, there's a breakthrough moment happening right now. So we're going to see how your person is feeling about you right now. We have the Lovers. I do believe that the eel person, I feel like both of these people feel a deep soul connection. All right. Also, I should say, if you are someone, when I was talking about, gender identity and sexuality and things like that, if you're someone that has like negative opinions about that, I do have a moderator moderating my comment section, and any negative words about that or people like that, or even directed at my children, those comments will be removed with peace and love. They will be removed. So we have the Five of Wands here. So there is blockages here with the Five of Wands, and we do have a shark, and the shark talks about things that need to come to the surface. I keep seeing that animal deck in my head, but the shark does talk about a truth that needs to come to the surface. All right, so let's see how your person is currently feeling about you. How is this person currently feeling about you? We have the Eight of Pentacles. So clearly this person feels the energy of commitment with you. With the Eight of Pentacles, but there's also an energy of this person feeling like they need to work on themselves before they can commit to you. And remember, this fabrication card talked about this is not the time to see the rewards of your effort. This is a time to focus on your own self-mastery. So right now, your person is feeling like they need to work on themselves and their own stability if they are going to commit to you with the Eight of Pentacles. And we have the Seven of Wands, so protecting the heart space. How is this person feeling about you? How is this person feeling about you? We have the Ten of Pentacles. So here we go. There's two cards that this person sees long-term commitment with you. They see the potential of long-term stability with you. I think it's interesting that this boat is not in the water. So right now it feels like your person feels like they need to work on themselves more if they are going to commit to this long-term. The World in reverse on the bottom. So this is someone who does feel like they took you for granted in the past. I just want to look at the World in reverse really quickly. I know that it talks about taking a partner for granted, though. Feeling incomplete. So right now, this person doesn't feel complete enough to give you this commitment, even though clearly for how they feel about you, they feel like there could be long-term potential and commitment here with these two cards. Long-term stability. But this person feels like until they feel complete and more healed, they can't offer you that. It also talks about taking partner for granted. So this person is feeling like they took you for granted, especially if you're the squirrel person and you were hyper fixated on this person and making it work. And all of a sudden you're focused on yourself now. There also could be something about when I was talking about asexuality and the logic part on the squirrel side, like logically, like for example, let's say this person is your person and you are this person. And logically, you're looking at it, well, this person didn't want to be intimate with me. They didn't, feel comfortable being intimate with me. Or again, if you're looking at it logically, I'm just using asexuality as an example, but if you were looking at it logically and this person had a hard time being intimate with you or didn't have a lot of interest in sexual encounters with you, for example, logically, you could have taken that as they're just not into me. They must not be attracted to me. But there's something about the squirrel's energy that you can't look at it logically because there's something else going on. Hopefully that made sense. Also, the World card talks about missing something. So this person does feel like there's something missing when it comes to love. And again, I keep going back to the asexuality because, and I even said about how sometimes people who are asexual who didn't know they were always felt like there was something missing in their connections, or they always felt a disconnect when it came to love. Anyway, I don't know why that's coming out so strongly. Let's keep going. How is your person feeling about you? We have justice. So your person does feel like they owe you truth here. For some reason, I feel like, how can I put this? So if your person is the eel person, they feel like they owe you truth and justice for what they're discovering about themselves. So let's say it's not the asexual thing, but it's that you were dealing with the eel's lower version, the lower version of themselves, which perhaps included manipulation and deceit, because these cards talk about removing negative energy like manipulation and deceit. So if this person was manipulative with you and deceitful with you, and you've removed them from your energy or you're cleansing your energy, this person feels like they owe you truth and accountability of those behaviors that stemmed from their lower self, because they're in between worlds here, about to step into their higher self. And their higher self, the most healed version of themselves, wouldn't be manipulative and deceitful. And they would see that the past version of themselves was manipulative and deceitful, as an example. Or if your person is the eel person and they do resonate with asexuality, they could feel like they owe you truth about their own identity. Once they figure it out, they owe you that truth and justice. If your person is the squirrel person, your person, because some of these cards did talk about like the squirrel following in their parents' footsteps, or the riddle even talked about manipulation and deceit. So if your person is the squirrel person, they could have mistreated you in some way. They could have been following in their parents' footsteps with the wolf. And they owe you truth and accountability about that, about whatever negative energy they brought to this connection. This is a complicated one. Let's get 2 more cards for how they're feeling about you. There's also the energy of, on the bottom with Justice, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So I do feel like this person wants to apologize for how long it's taking them or how slow they're moving, or maybe they neglected this connection in the past. So we do have the Queen of Wands for how they're feeling about you. So they do see you as someone very magnetic, very attractive. Again, if your person... I don't know why I'm talking about it so much, but if your person is asexual, they are drawn to you because of the connection, because of the soul connection, because of the love they feel for you. It doesn't have to do with your body or your gender. It has to do with your energy. It has to do with that connection they feel with you. So for how your person feels about you with the Queen of Wands, they do see you as someone very magnetic, very attractive, and they could also feel like you're standing in your power right now, whoever you are, whether you're the squirrel or the eel. Like if you're the eel and you're in this mysterious energy, I do feel like your person isn't quite sure what's going on with you. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to get one more for their feelings about you. We have the World in the upright now. So that's really interesting because I do feel like this person... you know, felt like they took you for granted in the past. They felt like they feel like they need to better themselves if they're going to commit to you. But with the World, it does show that this person feels like you would fulfill them, like they feel happy and complete when they're with you. 5 of Pentacles on the bottom. So it feels like this person is feeling, they could fear that you'll reject them. They could feel very left out in the cold right now for whatever reason. So I just want to see their intentions towards you. Fell on the floor. Isn't that interesting? 7 of Swords in reverse. So their intentions towards you are to make amends, to get something off their conscience, whether it's, I can see 2 things here. So if your person is the eel person, their intentions are to come out of the darkness, come out of this darkness, and to be honest with you, to stop running from this connection, to stop running from themselves. If this is someone who is dealing with like sexuality or gender identity, I feel like this is someone who intends to come out to you. If your person is the squirrel person, I feel like their intentions are to remove that negative, manipulative 7 of Swords energy and to make amends for some of those behaviors. And the 7 of Swords for whoever your person is in reverse does show you your person's intentions are to get something off their conscience. So whether they are the squirrel or the eel, they want to get something off their conscience here when it comes to you in this connection. They want to stop running. They want to come in out of the darkness. 7 of Swords in reverse. Confession, conscience, regret, truth revealed, a desire to live more honestly and with a renewed conscience. If they've been living with something weighing on their heart, this card encourages them to come clean. So for some of you, heart chakra, something has been weighing heavily on this person's heart. Whatever side you're resonating with and whatever side your person is. All right. 119 could be symbolic. The riddle was on page 119, and then this was on page 119. So September 11th, November 9th could be symbolic, or just the angel number 119. So let's see future actions towards you. What are their future actions towards you? We have the King of Cups. So the Eurasian blue tilt does talk about love. So this person's future actions towards you are to come towards you after they are in a more confident energy. When they're in this Nine of Pentacles energy, the action they're taking towards you is that they do want to come forward with emotional honesty here, an offer of love. This person's actions, you know, with the King of Cups, that's an offer of love. That's someone coming in with emotional intelligence. That's someone using their head and heart when it comes to love. And again, it's reminding me of head and heart. Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups is reminding me of that asexuality thing. I've never done a reading where that's come out. In all, like, hundreds of readings that I've done, I've never channeled that energy before. So I find that very interesting and fascinating as a reader, that this is the first time it's ever come out that strongly. So this person's actions, King of Cups. Balance between head and heart. Remain level-headed and calm. So they're going to come in very level-headed and calm with a love offer, a compassionate but calming partner. And if your person did have manipulative tendencies in the past, whoever they were, the King of Cups is in the upright. So when the King of Cups is in the reverse, it can talk about emotional manipulation. So the fact that it's in the upright, this person isn't coming in a manipulative energy. They're coming in a balanced energy, compassionate but calming. They're coming in emotional, practical, logically, and they're not repressing their emotions anymore. So they're coming in very honest about the emotions they're feeling here. I just want to get one more for that. Actions they're taking in the future. We have the Sun. So there's clarity and truth and illumination here. With the Sun, King of Cups, clearly connected through the heart space. King and Queen of Cups here. That's beautiful. And the Queen of Cups talks about wanting to deepen a connection. So this person wants to come in here, bring clarity, especially with that Seven of Swords in reverse. Bring clarity, illuminating the truth, wanting to heal this connection, wanting to deepen it. So what is your advice right now? What can you focus on? Even though I see for whoever you are, the energy is to focus on yourself right now. But what is your advice? What can you focus on? Why? So we have the Four of Wands, so focus on your own stability right now. Perhaps on your home. And we have the King of Wands, so focusing on your own independence right now, on your own creativity. I want to look at this one. I've been kind of using a different tarot book for advice. I'm just gonna read this to you because this is your advice. The King of Wands is confident and a powerful individual who radiates success through every aspect of their life. Typically viewed as a leader, they possess their own pronounced power, seeing the world as a foundation for invention and creation. Their visionary scope provides them with a very unique lens by which they utilize their skills and knowledge to move mountains. Being perceptive of the gifts and abilities of others, they are also highly supportive and compassionate, offering unconditional encouragement to those who seek their guidance. The King prompts us to navigate our life with an acute sense of foresight and direction, to stick to our goals and harness the reins of our own self-confidence. If there are new opportunities being presented to you now, assess how you can tackle the foreseeable challenges and make a plan. You are limitless and imbued with total power. So that's your advice right now. Also, there's an energy to show support to this person when they do come in, if you feel called to. I'm not forcing you to do anything you don't want to do. So focus on the bigger picture here. Focus on being optimistic. This card is also a reminder to trust oneself. You know the way. This is a time to fully embrace your strength and wisdom, which will enable you to make a huge difference in the world. All right, so I just want to get some channeled messages from your person. So what does your person want to say? What does your person want to say to you? All right, what does your person want to say to you? So we have, let me have you. We have, my life started when I met you. July 2nd, February 7th could be symbolic. I am absolutely in love with you. That's lover's energy there. Listen to your heart. So again, this might not make logical sense. Wait. So clearly this person needs more time. And we had, I just want you all the time pop out. And I just want you to choose. I'm just going to get one more. I want to start a family with you. And I need time for me. So again, that's what I was seeing in the tarot, that this person sees a future with you, but that right now they need to focus on themselves. I dream about you a lot. All right, so I hope that resonated for someone. If you're still here, I hope that resonated. And I'm sending you all lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. If you chose pile 2 and this little hippo, this is going to be your reading about how your person is feeling about you. So first, we're going to do an energy check to make sure this is your reading. And this one looks really nice. So we're going to start with you. You may be resonating with the person on this side. Pile 1 was kind of confusing, and this feels a little bit more straightforward. So this is supposed to be you, these first cards I'm getting, and then the person you're connecting to is over here. Although you may resonate more with that side, that's okay. Whatever side you resonate with, the cards that I pull for feelings are still going to be from your person for the tarot portion. So let's get into it. So for your energy, we have the Kingfisher, which is really nice energy. You're going to go down there. We have the Sword, 77. And I'll explain all these energies once I lay the cards down. We have the Hare, Rebirth. Actually, I'm just going to put this here. And then we have the Bridge. So I'm seeing a few different scenarios for this pile. So I'll talk about those scenarios and then I'll get into the individual energies once I lay down all the cards. I may have to move these around depending on how much room I have. So for your person's energy, we have the European Robin. We have Everything You Need Too Soon. We have the Cow with Value. Both of these are giving me Empress energy. And then we have the Temple. Like I said, I may need to move these around as we go. And then for the connecting energy, We have synergy. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that the new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. And we have heart portal, 7. So 7 is giving me chariot energy. So let me just make sure all these cards are straight, and then I'll make sure they're all in the frame. So I'm seeing a few different scenarios that this could be. And I'll just mention what those scenarios are, and then 333 on the timer, and you can, it'll resonate how it resonates with you. So one scenario that I'm seeing is this could be new love, and you could be connecting with someone new after a lot of work on yourself. You could be connecting with someone new, and maybe this person they could be holding back a little, and maybe that's why you are finding this reading, to kind of figure out how this new person is feeling about you. The other thing that I'm seeing is this could be a reconnection. So if it is a reconnection, I feel, or a rebirth between you and someone else, like you coming into union with someone, I feel like whoever this is in the past, I feel like they didn't know what to do with the love and the energy that they were feeling for you, and they could have run away from this connection, or they could have sabotaged it and pushed you away. And they've come to the realization that this is something that they want, and now you are having a rebirth with them or reconnecting with them. It is possible that for some of you, this reconnection hasn't happened yet. This could be something that you're manifesting. So I see kind of 3 scenarios. Either this is a new connection, or it's a reconnection, or it's about to be a reconnection. So hopefully that's not too confusing. So we're going to start with your energy. I just want to look up one thing before we begin. So the connecting energy, heart portal, there is definitely a transformation happening. So if this is a new connection, I feel like there's a transformation happening. I feel like if it's new, that you've recently been through a transformation and they've recently been through a transformation. If this is a reconnection, I feel like both of you needed to go through a transformation before this could come into union. And if you are currently not talking to this person, it feels like there is a reconnection coming, and that right now there's a transformation taking place before that reconnection can come. One thing that I'm feeling called to mention is there is a mirror in this image. So there could be mirroring happening between you, or this could have been a connection that couldn't come into fruition until both of you did a lot of self-reflection and transformation, whatever your circumstance. So we're going to start with you. You have the hair rebirth. So you've been through a rebirth, and there's a rebirth happening here. It's very rare that I actually channel people who are not in separation. So this is actually really nice, because for a lot of you, I feel like you are talking to this person. Let me just look at the hair. I looked at it earlier, but I've already forgotten what it said. Oh, yes. The hair talks about the beginning of a new relationship or a rebirth. So that's why I was saying that I feel like this is the beginning stages of a reconnection or a new connection. It does talk about rebirth, cycles, magic, New life, projects that have come to fruition, the start of a new relationship or a rebirth, so a reconnection, a new version of an old relationship. And it's giving spring energy, so that also, spring energy also talks about rebirth energy. And it's linked to transformation, change, and growth. So it does look, with the hair, it does talk about accepting this change and growth without trying to control it. So you could be trying your best not to control the situation. The hair also talks about approaching this situation with acceptance of both good and bad. So for some of you, like if this is a reconnection, I do feel like you have forgiven and are in acceptance of whatever maybe went down between you in the past. It could also be, if this is new or old, that you are accepting both the good and bad aspects of this person. I would say clearly you love this person. With the Kingfisher, the Kingfisher is a very positive card. It talks about abundance, and you can see that fish, that Kingfisher has the fish in its mouth, so it's caught what it wants to. If you aren't talking to this person, I do feel like you could be very focused on your own abundance and prosperity right now. But for a lot of you, I do feel like you've already caught in this fish, the Kingfisher, prosperity, abundance, opportunity. So right now you are seeing an opportunity within this connection. And just, well, I'll get to the connecting energy later. We also have a lot of sevens, and sevens are connected to chariot energy. So I do feel like there's a lot of forward movement right here. Sevens are also connected to spirituality. So I do feel like this is a spiritual connection. And I feel like you've been through a spiritual transformation with the Sword card. So the Sword, I already know this pile is not going to take as long as pile 1. Like I said, pile 1 was a little bit complicated. The Sword card does talk about complete transformation. It talks about rebirth after rebirth after rebirth after rebirth. And you see this snake, it's giving world energy. So I do feel like you've been through an important completion. And the way that the sword and the snake separate into 4 quarters here is symbolic of 4 seasons. So for example, if this is a new connection, maybe you've been single for 4 seasons working on yourself. You could have been, if this is a reunion energy or a reconnection energy, you could have been in separation for over a year, going through the 4 seasons. I just want to touch on this Sword card for you. It's actually the second last card in the deck. So the symbol of recreation. Together they create the 4 quarters, each representing a season and a part of ourselves as a whole. You are the creator of which direction you go, which season you live in, your birth and rebirth and birth and rebirth. Again, hold the sword in power. You have control and can use your sword to protect yourself in constant transformation. So it does feel like you've been through a huge transformation before coming together with whoever this is. And I do feel like you clearly know how you feel about this person. I feel like you have clarity. I also feel like there's a breakthrough moment happening for you, because this is also giving me Ace of Swords energy. Now the bridge is what's really telling, because we have 2 hands and we see this energetic connection. And the bridge does talk about connection, coming together, and communication. So I do feel like there is a bridge, an energetic bridge between you and this person, whether it's a new person or it's a reconnection. I feel like there's some sort of compromise happening with the bridge card. This could be someone from your past, because I hear a truck backing up outside. So this could be someone from your past. So bridges are built to connect two worlds. So clearly you and this person's world are connecting. This archetype is the gesture of acceptance, of saying yes, rather than withdrawing, separating, and saying no. So you are saying yes to this person. Acceptance, communication. When out of balance, lacking boundaries, forcing connection. So in the past, you could have tried to force this connection, or you could have been, you could have tried to force connections if this is a new person. And in the past, you could have also been, before you transformed, you could have also lacked boundaries. So one of the things that maybe you needed to learn and transform was how to set healthy boundaries. So you're being led into a new reality. Healing and communication are made possible. Remember that a bridge can't be forced. It must be made with love, or its structure will not withstand the inevitable weather of life. So, like I said, this is very straightforward. Your energy is showing some sort of new beginning after a major transformation. You've caught your fish. You have that fish in your mouth. There's a new opportunity here to bridge the gap with this person, or to, if this is a new person, to build a connection with them. And, you know, that synergy card does talk about unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new, exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. So it does seem like there's some sort of union happening between you and this person. I'm going to try and stop repeating myself that this is either a reconnection or a new connection. Only you know what this is for you. Now, your person's energy. You could be dealing with a masculine or someone who has more masculine energy, because the European Robin does talk about masculine energy. It specifically says man, so you could be connected to a man. I don't normally gender my readings, but the European Robin does say man. And fire. So there could be memories surrounding New Year's or Christmas with the European Robin. So you could have met around Christmas or New Year's. New Year's is also giving me the energy of a new cycle, a new beginning. You could have separated with this person around Christmas or New Year's, or just have memories around those two holidays, because like I said, this card does talk about New Year's and Christmas. And it also talks about fire. So this person clearly feels a lot of passion towards you, a lot of fire towards you. With the energy of man and fire, it's kind of giving me King of Wands energy. So this could be someone who's very creative. They could be a leader in some way. You could see them as a King of Wands. If you do know who this is, and this is a reconnection, I feel like this could have been someone in the past who didn't know how to hold your love, didn't know what to do with it. This could have been someone who was, you know, more focused on their independence. They could have had a hard time giving up their independence, not seeing the value in this connection with the cow value. So, you know, like I said, if you know this person, if you do know this person from your past, they could have presented in the past as being more self-focused, fear of giving up their independence. Maybe they weren't giving you enough time and energy. If this is a new connection, I could also see how, if you're, you know, seeking out a tarot reading to see how they're feeling about you, if this is a new connection, it could be that this person is more focused on their own independence right now and not really opening up to you about how they truly feel about you. They could be feeling a little standoffish. With the cow does talk about realizing what's important in life. So I feel like right now this person is starting to realize that love is what's important in life, not material wealth, not addictions, not surface level things. Love is, the most important thing in life. And I feel like right now this person is realizing that you, or seeing you as someone that they do value a lot. The cow does talk about focusing on what you truly value in life and kind of getting rid of the things you don't value in life. So I am getting an energy that if you were connected to this person in the past and went through a separation, it could be because they didn't know how to hold your love, or they didn't know how to prioritize this connection, or they didn't know how to see a good thing when it was staring them straight in the face, is what I'm hearing. It's also giving me Empress energy, and this is number 3. And 3 is connected to Empress energy. And the fact that we have masculine and feminine energy here, I do believe that this person is trying to balance their feminine and masculine energy. There's something about this cow laying down with that daisy that makes me think of the Empress. I don't know why. This person maybe in the past had very black and white thinking as well with that's a black and white cow. So maybe they had very black and white thinking and you kind of open them up to color is what I'm hearing. I'm just going to look at the cow to make sure. Value, gratitude, generosity. The first lesson of the cow is gratitude. We must protect what we value. So it does feel like this person, in the past, they could have been, like I said, if you know this person and there was a separation, they could have been very protective about their independence or the things they found value in. But I feel like now they're realizing that you're the one that they should be valuing. Find ways to repay kindness and pay into the relationship rather than just withdrawing. So right now your person is trying to find ways to give to this connection rather than withdrawing. And some of these cards do point to the fact that in the past, if there was a separation, that this person maybe was withdrawing because they didn't know what to do with this. I feel like whoever you are, I feel like this person, you're everything they ever wanted. I feel like they always imagined having someone like you. I feel like maybe they even manifested you. And then when you were right in front of them, they didn't know what to do. And I'm being called to the reminder of how sometimes we sabotage what's not familiar. So if this person grew up in an unstable home and they always said, when I grow up or when I get married, I want to have a partner who's like this, this, and this. And then you appeared in their life, this, this, and this, and they sabotaged it because it wasn't familiar to them. If that makes sense, they could have pushed you away. If this is a new connection, I do believe that this person is wanting to give more to this, wanting to give more time and energy into this. But they could also be feeling overwhelmed because everything they've always wanted is now reaching out to them. They're now connecting with someone they see as someone they've always dreamt of having in their life. Everything you need too soon is a card that this person feels like they're being showered with everything they've ever wanted. And at times that can be overwhelming. And that's why I keep getting that energy, like in the past, if this is a connection that went into separation, it could have been that this person didn't know how to hold all that love and that value that you were giving to them. And they could have withdrawn, they could have run away, they could have closed their eyes here because you were a wish come true. What I find interesting about the combination of these 3 cards, all of these cards talk about opening your eyes and seeing what's right in front of you and valuing what's right in front of you. So right now, that's what this person is trying to do, I believe. But maybe, like I said, they're still holding back a little, or they're still focused on other things. And maybe that's why you're finding this reading, because you don't know how this person is feeling about you. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So after a period of wanting, you are now being showered with love and abundance. When emerging from a state of scarcity, you can become blind to all the blessings you're receiving. This is a flood, and it is truly such a wonderful thing, but it can also be overwhelming at times. So take little sips. So whoever you are, I feel like this person has been wanting this for a very long time. And now that they have it, now that they have, like I was saying, you have your fish, you caught your fish. Now that they have this fish in their mouth, it's like they almost... I feel like this person is taking very little sips of this. So again, maybe that's why you're being called to this reading. Take moments to count all the wonderful things happening around you. Soon your palms will reach open to receive all the goodness showering upon you. And look at this image. The palms are closed. So again, I feel at times, and if you look at this, like the palms are over the eyes. So I feel in the past, this person didn't know what to do with the love that you were showing them. And if this is a new person, they could be holding back. They could be taking little sips of this because they're afraid to truly open themselves up to this love. And like I said, the temple here has closed palms. So I feel like you're everything this person ever wanted and hoped for and prayed for. And now what they need to do is they need to see the value in this, and they need to open their hands to receive it. So the temple. Whoops, tower moment. And the temple comes, I believe the temple is the card right after the bridge. So I don't know if maybe you reached out to this person. Maybe you made the first move. I feel like if you did, they're thankful for that because, like I said, the temple is the card right after the bridge. So it even says we are quick to distance ourselves when we receive this abundance, when we receive this sacredness that we've been hoping for, we can be quick to distance ourselves from it because we don't know what to do with it. So whatever the situation is, whether it's right now or in the past, I do feel like this person is either distancing themselves from you, holding back from you a bit, or in the past, they like withdrew completely because they didn't know what to do with this energy. The temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensually kissing a lover or closing her eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. So like I said, in the past, this person could have rejected you, even though they saw this light in you, they felt all this love for you, they could have rejected you in the past. And right now, they could even be appearing like they're rejecting you in some way, especially if this is a new connection. What do you spend your time worshiping? Your phone, money, material goods? There's room on your altar for something new, something surprising. So right now, again, there's this energy that this person is looking at what they valued in the past versus what they should be valuing now. And they're being called to open their hands to this connection. So I hope that made sense. I hope that made sense. I'm just going to look at synergy and make sure there's nothing on here that you need to hear. Working together. So working together, this is the current energy. So right now you and this person are working together. You're trying to work together. And it talks about new energy. Involves uniting elements, energies. Excuse me. And if this is a new connection, I feel like maybe you came into this person's life very unexpectedly, or maybe they were never expecting to meet someone with all your qualities and attributes, is what I'm hearing. So the pink in this represents divine feminine attributes of love and nurturing and receptivity. The bright yellow-green color represents new energy through clarity, beauty, and exhilaration. Purple brings in consciousness and insight, while the opening at the top represents the channel that allows input from a higher place. So I also feel like this, this connection is being divinely guided. So hopefully that makes sense. So on the bottom of your deck, we do have the Seven of Pentacles. So it could be that you're waiting to see how this all plays out. Maybe you're investing time and energy and you're still waiting to see the fruits of your labor. It does show that this person feels like this connection is something worth investing in. And we have the Three of Cups, so this could be a connection that is in its early reuniting stages, or it could be in its, like, maybe you just started dating this person. Maybe this is a friendship turning to love. I'm seeing a few different scenarios here, but we're going to look at how your person is feeling about you. Three of Swords in reverse, reconciliation. Six of Coins, needing to give equal take, needing to give, like this person is feeling like they do need to start giving more. They do need to start giving more valuable energy to this connection. Four of Wands, interesting. I just heard, you know what I just saw? I saw, is it Sleepless? I think I'm seeing Sleepless in Seattle, where he's explaining how it felt when he laid eyes on his wife, and then he felt that way when he laid eyes on Meg Ryan. It felt like coming home. I just heard that. We have the Ten of Cups. This is beautiful. It felt like coming home. And the Ten of Cups does talk about a storybook ending. And we have death, transformation. So it's definitely rebirth energy here. Whether this is, like I said, I'm going to stop repeating myself. I'm going to stop. Whether this is a new connection or a reconnection, there's a rebirth here, a new beginning, and temperance. So needing to be patient while this rebirth energy happens. When you think of, like, I'm seeing a tulip in the ground. When you first see the signs of tulips in the spring, yes, you want to see that flower, but you have to wait for that flower. Like, you see the little greens popping out of the ground and you want to see that flower, but you have to wait for that flower to bloom. That's what this feels like. All right. So Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. Beautiful. So how is this person currently feeling about you? How is this person feeling about you? We have strength and we have the Star. Wish coming true. So this person does feel like you are their wish fulfillment here. With the Star, it could be reconnection. This person is trying to keep a positive mindset. And we have strength, two major arcanas. So clearly this person feels very strongly about you with the Strength card. If this is a reconnection too, there could have been a lot of things that someone here could be a dentist or a dental hygienist, or a farmer. But what was I hearing with that? I was hearing that if this is a reconnection, this person could have showed you. Now I'm hearing the song See Me Beautiful by Sister Hazel. So this person could have shown you their lion. This person could have shown you the good and bad aspects of themselves. And maybe, you know, they're kind of in shock that you still love them and accept those parts of them. If this is a new connection, this person could be afraid that if you see those not so desirable things about them, when you see their lion, that maybe you still won't want them. So this person could be holding back in a sense, but this person feels a very strong connection with you with the Star and the Strength. We have Aquarius and Leo. And we have Page of Coins here as well. So the Page of Coins does show like a new beginning, a new chapter. It also shows dedication, but maybe a bit of quietness as well with the Page of Coins. So this person definitely sees or feels the potential within this connection. And I'm looking at this, like you could have seen, you could have triggered, like if this is a reconnection, you could have triggered this person's ego. You could have seen like right into them. And if you look at this, this person still has a big fat smile on their face. So I do feel like there's something about your energy that you're very accepting of all parts of this person. Five of Swords in reverse on the bottom, which does talk about making amends and reconciliation. So we're going to get two more for how this person is feeling about you. So we have Aquarius, Leo, and Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So how is this person feeling about you? We have Eight of Wands. Everything you need too soon. Oh my gosh, Eight of Wands. So for some of you, it's not for some of you, for all of you, this person feels like very fast feelings for you with the Eight of Wands. That's rapid, like very fast feelings. They are feeling a lot of passion towards you. I'm hearing very fast feelings, getting attached very quickly. And if this is someone who's very independent, like if this is a new person, they could feel like everything I need too soon, everything's happening very quickly. So they could be kind of pulling back a little. If the Eight of Wands is also about communication. So this person, I feel, is happy to be communicating with you, especially if this is a reconnection. Seven of Cups on the bottom. So this person does have clarity about this. And, you know, there is a small percentage of you that I feel like you may not be in contact with this person with the Heart Portal card. So if you're not in contact with this person and you're resonating with this side, I do feel like this person is about to take action towards you. Let's get one more for their feelings. You want to come out? We have the Six of Swords, so moving into calmer waters. Reconnection vibes. And, you know, King of Wands. Didn't I say King of Wands? So this person is feeling like they need to take more of a lead here. But moving into calmer waters. And if this is a new connection, this could also be this person feeling like they're finally able to move on from their past. So let's see their current intentions towards you. I like that. Current intentions. Someone could also have to move here. Someone could also have to move here. So we have the Queen of Wands here for current intentions. So they do want to be more open with you. And we have the King and Queen of Wands. So I feel like this person sees you as their match. Their intentions are to be more open with you with the Queen of Wands and to start showing up with more confidence is what I'm hearing. We also have the King of Cups on the bottom. So this person's intentions are to trust their intuition and to come towards you with more emotion, caring and compassionate. Their intentions are to be caring, compassionate, and more open with you. If you look at this cup, there's no lid on that cup. Like in the Queen of Cups, there's usually a lid on the cup. King of Cups, there's no lid on that cup. So this person's intentions are to, like I said with the Queen of Wands, be more open with you, be more emotionally vulnerable with you, open up in a more emotionally vulnerable way with you. Like right now, maybe this person is not opening up with you emotionally, especially with this everything you need too soon. Take little sips is what this card is talking about. So right now, this person could be taking very little, like very small sips of this connection, or opening up in very small ways. Like maybe they're not showing you much emotion. Their intentions are to be more open and to show you more emotion and to be more confident about being emotional with you. I'm just going to get one more for intentions. What is this person's intentions? We have the Four of Coins in reverse, which is about being more open and giving more and being more charitable and not holding back so much. Exactly. All right. Honestly, like this person's intentions are to stop being so closed off and to open up to you and to give you more. I like that. I'm just going to look at the Queen of Wands really quickly. Ah. Where are you, Queen of Wands? Openness in a relationship. Confident, self-assured, passionate, determined. These are their intentions towards this connection. To be more cheerful and confident, to be more open with you. And then Four of Pentacles in reverse. Also, this person wants to stop holding on to the past. So if something did go down between you in the past, they want to stop holding on to whatever happened in the past. It just started raining. Generosity, giving, being more open. That also says to stop putting so much in reverse. It says stop putting so much emphasis on material things, which is something these two cards talked about. So this person's intentions are to take their attention away from the material things and to be more open and generous with you. It's time to surrender and trust that everything will work out as it's meant to. Those are their intentions. I like it. So I want to see their action, but I'm going to call it continued action because I feel for a lot of you, this person... Can you hear the rain? Cleansing. Anyway, I feel like this, for a lot of you, this person, you're already talking, but let's look at their continued actions towards you. Continued actions. All right, so we have Temperance. So this person does want to continue moving forward. They are being patient about they are being patient. Can't hurry love, Temperance. So their continued actions, their intentions are to be more open, but for a little while, they may still be holding back from you. Again, their feelings, their intentions, Queen of Wands, King of Cups, Four of Coins in reverse, their intentions are to open more up to you. But it looks like right now, continued action they're taking. They're being very patient. They're not wanting to rush anything. Page of Cups also shows that they could be like not fully opening up to you in their continued action. It doesn't mean it won't happen. Their intentions are to open up more. But it looks like for the time being, this person is wanting to take little sips of that cup. Again, Temperance. They're not wanting to rush things, but at the same time, they want to restore balance and harmony. They want equal give and take with the Temperance card. We've also got Seven of Cups on the bottom. So I do believe this person is also going to bring you more clarity about this and start taking more action with the Seven of Cups in reverse. I feel like they could even open up to you about why they're holding back. So maybe that's because of what happened between you in the past. Maybe that's because they're afraid of getting hurt. Maybe that's because they're just not ready to take a big gulp of that cup. The Page of Cups also shows new perspectives. So I do believe this person eventually will show you a more open perspective. But the Page of Cups also talks about like being in love. So I feel like right now this person's just enjoying being connected to you, enjoying falling in love with you, enjoying exchanging energy with you again. And it feels like, again, they don't want to rush anything here, especially with that Eight of Wands. It feels like maybe they're developing feelings very quickly and they just want to take things slow. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let me look at Page of Cups though. Oh, well, that shows me. It also mentions being able to express yourself without allowing the inner critic to overshadow the process. So it feels like this person, you know, in time, they stop doubting themselves and they start expressing themselves more openly. And it does talk about showing you a new perspective, entering a period of new sensations and relationships, emotional rebirth, renewing a romantic relationship, or meeting someone new and nice. So it covers both of the energies that I was feeling here. So again, continued actions. This person just wants to enjoy where this is going and slowly start to become more vulnerable with you. They don't want to rush this. Careful and considerate with love, being patient, balance, peace, patience, moderation, calm. And the patience card, or the temperance card, also talks about re-examining their priorities. So that goes back to this person and the material things or the other things that they were focusing on. So what is your advice? What is your advice? We also have the Empress, which does talk about, you know, letting things grow. It talks about maybe your person is some sort of work person or like an electrician or a plumber or something, because who is that? Some cable van just pulled up outside into my driveway. I don't know who they are or why they're here. But the Empress card does show that feminine energy of receptivity, allowing things to unfold naturally. All right. Whoops. Let's see what you can focus on right now. Oh my gosh, look at the tulips on that. Remember what I said about the tulips? Look at the tulips on that person's outfit. So what is your advice about this connection? I just looked at the clock. I never look at the clock when I'm channeling. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. So you're on the right path. This is all coming into alignment. What is your advice about this connection? What is your advice? We have the 5 of Swords. So that does show, and the Chariot. So it does show that there's forward movement here with the Chariot. So keep remaining. Don't try and pull ahead here. Don't try and rush ahead. When you think about the Chariot, these 2 horses need to go at the same pace. If you start pulling more ahead, that Chariot goes off course. So kind of stay energetically aligned with this person. Keep focusing on your own alignment. Now my dogs are freaking out. We have the 5 of Swords in reverse for your advice. That does show reconciliation, resolution, compromise. So if you don't feel like there's progress being made, Spirit's saying be patient. Be patient with yourself, be patient with this person, and focus on taking small steps rather than huge steps forward. And again, try not to pull too far ahead of this person with the Chariot. And it's coming into alignment. Remember I said 1, 2, 3, 4. It's coming into alignment and the Chariot came out. All right, so now I'm going to get a few channeled messages from your person. Channeled messages from your person. I absolutely love that there's tulips on that person's outfit because I was seeing tulips. Aw, on the bottom, I am absolutely in love with you. I believe it. So, time to ground yourself. So, I'm hearing the Queen of Pentacles. If you feel like this isn't moving quickly enough or you're feeling triggered because this person is holding back or you're not a mind reader, tend to your inner garden. Ground yourself. Don't self-sabotage. So let's see what your person wants to say to you. Aww. So that popped out off the bottom. Oh, this is so sweet. I am absolutely in love with you. I would do anything for you, which is like 10 of Cups energy. I could be your hero, baby. So the song Hero by Enrique Iglesias, or however you pronounce his name. I would stand by you forever. Please don't take my breath away. Is that what it is? What does your person want to say? All right. So we have you are wrong. So if you are doubting this person, like if your ego tells you that this person doesn't have feelings for you, I believe you are wrong. And that could be from the past too. This person could have told you that you were wrong. I need time for me. So that explains why this person could be holding back a bit. Do you even see me that way? So that shows that this person is also feeling a little uncertain about how you see them. And we have I lost everything? 9 of Swords. That shows anxiety. That shows overthinking. So your person is feeling a little anxious about this connection. That could also be connected to, in the past, this person could have told you that you were wrong. And maybe they lost you because of that. So pile 2, I hope that made sense. I am sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose pile 3 and this little owl, then this is going to be your reading all about how your person is feeling about you. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at your energy, which will be on this side, and your person's energy will be on this side. I'm just going to set your tarot deck over there, and I feel called to mention that you did choose Black Obsidian, which has to do with protection. And after I pulled your cards, I can see possibly why you were drawn to the owl, because I do feel like right now you're being called to protect your energy. So let's get into your cards. And if this pile isn't resonating for you, you might want to check out a different pile. So like I said, we're going to start with you. And if you feel like you're resonating with this side more, that's completely okay. The tarot will be how your person is feeling about you, no matter which side you resonate. But I feel like most of you are going to resonate with this side. So let's start with your energy. We have the blue jay. And I actually did a reading the other day where I was hearing a blue jay, and I looked up what that meant. So I'm going to look up the spiritual significance of a blue jay before I put down any other cards. Just give me 1 second. So the blue jay does represent, it is a sign that you are in need of healing, which makes sense with the energy that's going to come out in this reading. And it also talks about finding or working on healing and balance within a relationship or within a connection. And the other thing that it can talk about is protection. So I do feel like right now you're protecting your energy from this person, especially the fact that you chose the Black Obsidian owl. You could also, the fact that you chose the owl, you could be very intuitive. But let's keep going. I'm going to lay down all the cards and then we'll talk about it. So the next card you have is the Whale card and Depth. Actually, I'm going to put these down here. Then we have Something That Is Never Truly Yours. And we have nectar. So that is supposed to be the viewer. I just need to make sure everything fits in here. So next we will get your person's energy. For your person, we have Drongo, which looks very similar to a crow. Where did their other card go? Oh, there it is. They're hiding from me. We have Raccoon, Survival. We have the Heart Eater. That is 13, which is giving me death and rebirth energy, transformation. And then for your person's energy, we have the Siren. So one thing that I'm hearing is this could be, I wasn't hearing this when I first pulled the cards, but I'm hearing it now, so I will say it. The fact that we have something that is never truly yours, it could be that for some of you, you were never in a committed connection with this person, and for some of you, there could have been third-party interference with the Siren, or they could have been with someone else. That's not going to be for all of you is what I'm hearing, but I wanted to mention it because a download just came through about that. The Siren does talk about, it can talk about a temptress. So you could resonate with this person having someone else in their energy in the past. I don't think they're with anyone now, but I just heard that, so I needed to mention it. And the fact that you have something that is truly never yours, you could resonate with being involved, and no judgment from me, but you could resonate with being involved with someone who was with someone else. Or if that's not resonating for you, maybe you never fully felt like you were with this person because you have something that is never truly yours. So it feels like this was never a committed connection, or you never felt stability with this person, or maybe you never had, like maybe it was a situationship and it never evolved into anything stable. But let's continue on. For the connecting energy, we have integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. And this card actually mentions divine feminine and divine masculine energies and union. So I don't think you're in union with this person, far from it. But I do feel like you could resonate with divine feminine, divine masculine, or you could resonate with that journey. Only you will know if you're on that journey. And then for the other connecting energy, we have the shield. And there's a whole bunch, this looks like a heart, and then there's a whole bunch of garlic. And we do know that like vampires could be symbolic, or mermaids could be symbolic, but from what I know about vampires, I don't really watch a lot of vampire things, but I do know that, is Twilight vampires? I've never watched Twilight. Maybe I shouldn't be admitting that. But from what I know about vampires, I think it's vampires, garlic protects against vampires. So, and I know that some people, again, I've never watched it. Maybe I should watch Twilight, but I know that some people resonate with they have a connection with Twilight and the twin flame journey. Again, maybe I should watch Twilight. Tell me if I should watch Twilight. I'm someone who's never like jumped on the bandwagon. Like when everyone else is like, oh, you should watch this. For some reason, I'm always like, I must not watch it. Like it took me so long to even watch Lord of the Rings because of the hype around it. That could also be the fact that I'm mentioning that. Maybe you're like that. But anyway, so we have shield. So right away, what I'm seeing is that this probably is a separation or a no contact, with the connecting energy being what it is. And right now I feel like both of you are working on integrating positive and negative aspects of yourself. But with that shield card, that's really pointing towards something as being, there's a blockage here. And it could be that you are protecting your energy from this person because, like I mentioned with the Blue Jay does talk about protection and the need to heal. Or if you were struggling, for example, to put up boundaries with this person, I do feel like this person was mistreating you in some way. And for some of you, because of the connection you felt with this person, you maybe struggled to put up boundaries. You maybe struggled to stand in your power, to stand in your own masculine energy. And if that's the case, then I feel like the universe kind of stepped in with divine intervention to create a blockage to protect you. Because I do feel like you're being protected from this person, whether you enforced that protection or whether the universe had to step in. I'm hearing Archangel Michael could have stepped in to protect you. So let's start with, I'm going to start with the connecting energy. So the shield, keep your guard up. So there's a guard in between you right now. Make efforts to protect yourself and your energy. It's not a time for expansion and experimentation. It's best to keep what is important to you close. Take awareness in others who may be curious about the inner workings of your life. Honor your own privacy. So it does very much feel, especially with that integration card, it feels like both of you are working on integrating dark, like shadow and light aspects in your own energies, but that right now this is not a time for expansion within this connection. It also, for you, it could feel like this slipped through your fingers somehow with that something that is never truly yours. And it could also be, this card talks about how this money, these pentacles, pass through many hands. So one thing that I'm hearing is this person could have been someone who has passed through many hands, or maybe they've had many relationships, and maybe, again, like I was saying, this never really materialized into anything stable between you. So we're going to stay with your energy for a minute. So the Blue Jay talks about, I already mentioned the spiritual meanings of the Blue Jay, but in the little guidebook that I have for this deck, all of a sudden my heart's pounding. This person could have caused you a lot of anxiety. It does talk about self-assertion, determination, truth, and confidence. So it does feel like you are protecting your own energy right now, or like I said, rejection is protection. So if this person was removed from your energy, there's a reason. It was to protect you. And it looks like you're working on your confidence right now. With the whale is a very feminine energy as well. So it feels like you are really diving into your own feminine energy, especially with nectar there. There's a lot of healing taking place in your energy, and I'm not surprised because I feel like you were hurt within this connection. I do feel like this person hurt you. There could have even been, I'm hearing, trauma within this connection. This person could have really wore down your sense of self-worth, your confidence. And right now you're really focused on healing, is what I'm seeing with this energy. I do see that in this card, I don't know if you can see it past the plant. I'll just move the plant for a minute. But in this card, there is a hand kind of pointing in this direction. There also could have been third-party interference because I see 3 hands here, so there could have been third-party interference. But the whale's body language is pointing towards this person. The Blue Jay's body language is pointing towards this person. So I do feel, especially if you resonate with divine feminine, divine masculine, or that journey, again, only you will know if you resonate with it or not. I do feel like you still have love for this person. You still maybe have hope that this connection can work out. But just because you're in a soul connection does not excuse bad behavior. And I do feel like this person mistreated you. They have a lot of very interesting energy. There's a lot of deceptive energy. There's a lot of manipulative energy over here. They are coming out of it. I do feel like there's a transformation happening in their energy. But I feel in the past with the energy of shield and protection, and then they have the Drongo and the raccoon and the heart eater, I do feel like they kind of self-sabotaged this connection, and they could have projected a lot of their shadows onto you. The raccoon does talk about being cunning, being sly, very shadowy. This person could have also been wearing a mask in some way. They could have had, some not so desirable tendencies. I'm not saying that your person was a narcissist, but they could have had narcissistic tendencies. When I was shuffling this deck, I noticed the mother and the father card showed themselves around this card. So that could have stemmed from their own mother and father. So for example, if this person grew up with parents with narcissistic tendencies or manipulative tendencies, that would be deeply ingrained in them. And again, even if you're in a soul connection with this person, it doesn't excuse that. But I feel like right now you're both meant to be learning important lessons. And I feel like one of your lessons is to learn that you deserve more than that behavior. And now Spirit's drawing my attention to this ring of black obsidian pearls here. And like I said, this hand is reaching out this way, but it feels like you're being protected right now. So for example, if you tried to reach out to this person, maybe they didn't respond, or maybe they had blocked you, or maybe you have them blocked. There's definitely an energy of protection over you right now. And especially if you're a divine feminine and this person, I'm not talking about gender, but especially if you are a divine feminine and this person mistreated you in some way, you have like a cloak of protection over you. And what happens in soul connections, this is actually the first pile I've done. You're actually the fourth pile I've done, because I did a hidden pile for my collective, which I posted as a collective reading on my YouTube channel this morning. But you're the first one where this like counterpart energy has come out. And so what happens in this type of connection is when you're with this person, if you are this divine feminine, you have like a cloak of protection over you, and this person would be protected in your energy. But once they wrong you and you go into separation, especially if Archangel Michael had to step in to protect you, then they lose that cloak of protection and they start going through tower moments and lessons and karma. Anyway, so the whale does talk about diving deep into your emotions and into healing. And I'm also hearing like rediscovering love for yourself, needing to focus on self-love. Because I do feel like this person chipped away at your self-worth is what I'm hearing. I feel like it could be that you were feeling really good and really strong, and then over time this person kind of chipped away at it. Whatever happened between you, I can't be sure what happened between you, but I can kind of see the energy. I can see that you're being heavily protected right now. Like I said, that string of obsidian pearl here is definitely protecting you. So let's just look at, I just want to look at nectar. I can't remember. 181. The medicine, the elixir, the garden. So it feels like right now you're tending to your own inner garden. You are tending to your healing. There's a huge element of healing on your side, and I feel like a lot of the healing It's not just about healing you and healing some of your shadow aspects. It's also about healing some of your light aspects and healing what happened within this connection, or what this person did to you. Again, I'm not sure what they did. I can kind of see the gist of it, and I don't think it was good. Anyway. And so when in dark, the nectar, fixation on healing. So what I'm hearing is you could be highly intuitive with that owl, and especially if you felt like this was a soul connection, you could have tried to help this person heal. You could have been fixated on trying to get them to see their shadows, and they could have projected back onto you or pushed you away or really lashed out at you. And I'm seeing that surrender card, that surrender the idea that you can fix someone. The only person you can heal and fix is yourself. And by doing that, you encourage others to heal, but you can't force or make anyone else heal. And I feel like right now you're really focused on your own healing. So the energy of the nectar lubricates our spirit back to life. The nectar card calls us to identify and relish in places, practices, people, and activities that regenerate and heal. So right now you're trying to focus on things that feel healing to you, focusing on connections in your life, people in your life, friendships, activities, maybe creative endeavors, beliefs, meditation that soothe your soul. Is that all I want to say for you? I think that's all I want to say for you. The whale card also talks about needing solo time in order to heal. So I do feel like I'm hearing recovering from whatever happened between you and this person. And I am sending you lots of love and light. I think that's all I want to say for you. Well, let me just look at the whale card one more time. So it's really about reconnecting with yourself, freeing yourself from the pressure of everyday life, becoming a giant in the spiritual and creative realms. You could have become even disconnected from your own intuition through this connection or whatever happened. To survive, the whale must remain submerged. So it feels like you're submerged in your own healing journey right now. And you could be a very sensitive person. You could be an empath. Inspiration, creativity, and alone time, and deep connection to spirit. So that's your energy right now. So you're remembering how to swim with the whale card. You're remembering how to swim. You could also be listening to music. The whale always makes me think of music. You could also feel very connected to whales. Music, there it is. It says it right there. Spiritual growth. So you're also going through a lot of spiritual growth right now. And you're trying to take your attention off of everyday life, chores, bills, and work, and taking the time to nurture yourself. But like I said, the body language in this pile is still pointed towards this person. So I do feel like you feel a soul contract with this person. You still think about this person. Clearly, you're watching a reading about this person. Now it makes sense, the tarot deck that you chose. When I flipped it over, I noticed the Emperor is on the bottom. And the Lovers, oh my gosh. So you could be dealing with an Aries or a Gemini, but like, I feel like right now you're meant to be choosing yourself. You're meant to be not only focusing on your divine feminine energy, but also embodying this masculine and standing in your power, knowing your worth. We have the Ace of Swords underneath, so a breakthrough moment. And then we have Death. So it's very interesting to me because I feel like these two cards are very significant for your energy. And then these two cards, the Ace of Swords and Death, are very, you could be dealing with a Scorpio, are very significant for your person's energy because your person is definitely having a breakthrough. So let's talk about your person's energy now. I wasn't actually surprised after I shuffled Drongo, which looks an awful lot like a raven or a crow to me, but I don't really know much about birds, so what do I know? But Drongo, listen to Drongo. There's just, I think there's only two keywords for Drongo: clever and deceitful. So it does feel like your person's energy is still, if you look at this, if you look at their energy is pointed towards you, but they're kind of Ace of Swords. I feel like they're having a breakthrough moment about their own raccoon tendencies, possibly about the mask that they wear. Like I said, Drongo, pretty straightforward, clever, and deceitful. So I do feel like you're dealing with someone, it's giving me Seven of Swords energy, big time. Like your person was in Seven of Swords energy. So whether that was gaslighting, manipulation, running away from their own shadows, I'm just calling out the things that I'm hearing. Running away from their own shadows, unwilling to be self-aware. There could have been projection. There could have been sneaking around, possibly with a third party, or maybe they were with someone sneaking around with you. Take whichever one of those resonates. Now, the Heart Eater. The Heart Eater is interesting because your person is very much lashing out at themselves right now. They're being very hard on themselves right now, and they're kind of sabotaging within their own energy. Like I said, they're eating their own heart. How can I explain that? Let me just look at the Heart Eater. I feel like for a while this person was taking things out on you, and now that you're not there, they're kind of, I'm hearing self-imploding. I don't know if that's the right terminology. So the Heart Eater is not here to eat your heart. She eats her own. So right now they're like eating their own heart. They're being very hard on themselves. They're beating themselves up. In a fit, she knows not what she does. So there's this energy that this person in the moment, again, I'm not here to make excuses. Please don't misinterpret me for making excuses for this person. But it feels like when this person was in their shadows, when they were in a fit, when they were, you know, emotionally triggered, it was like they didn't understand what they were doing. I feel like this is someone who wasn't really self-aware is what I was hearing. So right now they're in a state of uncomfortable feelings and confusion. So they're in this very uncomfortable energy where they're kind of, it's eating them up inside. And transformation, having those realizations about yourself, it's very uncomfortable. This could be, I'm seeing that card, Narcissist Empath Paradigm. You could resonate with that. And the thing is that I was listening to something by Aaron Doughty the other day about the empath narcissist paradigm. And there's a reason that they attract each other. It's because they're both meant to teach each other lessons. The person on, again, I don't like the label narcissist, it's overused. But they're meant to teach the empath to learn to stop enabling bad behavior, to stand in their power, to stop putting up with less than they deserve, to stop wearing rose-colored glasses. And the empath triggers within this person that kind of empath energy. So empathy, compassion, warmth. And again, without your empathy and compassion and warmth, I feel like this person, I keep hearing self-imploding. I don't even know what that means. So this person is so feeling very overwhelmed with feelings of anxiety, discomfort, loneliness. And when this person was overcome with discomfort, anxiety. In the past, I feel like they didn't know what to do with that and they put it all onto you. And now that you're not there and you're protecting your energy, or you're being protected from this person, because like I said, for some of you, you may have tried to help this person and the universe may have had to separate you. But now that you're not there, when they feel that anxiety and discomfort and overwhelm, they're turning it onto themselves now because they don't have an outlet. I hope that makes sense. I'm not making excuses for this person. Clearly, this person needs to heal. It's not and never okay for someone to act like this. There's no excuse for it. And this person definitely needs to heal. Now, the raccoon does talk about, was there anything else on there? So this person is with the heart eater. There is currently a realization going on, and it's sending healing energy through the heart and the mind, Ace of Swords. So they are having an epiphany about this. And their heart is trying to talk to them right now. Their heart is trying to get through to them. Now with the raccoon, like I said, I've already mentioned some aspects of the raccoon, but I just want to look at the book to make sure I'm not missing anything, because this is actually, usually if you watch me, you know, I always use the Wild Unknown animal deck, but I felt called to use a different animal deck for this reading. So survival, mischief, adaptation, problem solving, curiosity, intelligence. And this creature provides inspiration in times when we are facing difficulties or obstacles. So the spirit of the raccoon encourages us to look at ourselves. So right now this person is being encouraged to look at themselves and to be the one who takes things in its own hands. So the raccoon speaks to us of survival. So when facing the end of a cycle or an end of a relationship, difficulties within a connection. And when the door closes, find a window or even a ladder. Things that used to work in the past within this connection are no longer working. So this person is feeling or being called to try something new. So again, this could have been someone who in the past, they always blamed the other people rather than truly looking at themselves. And now your person is feeling called to try something new and to look in the mirror at themselves rather than pointing the finger outward. They're feeling called to point that finger towards themselves. All right, let's look at the siren and then we can get tarot. So the siren, I believe that's on page 93. I could be wrong. So 1993 could be symbolic. No, I was wrong. It's on page 97. So 97 or 93 could be symbolic. So the siren, the mermaid. So this person is finding themselves lost in a spell of desire and longing. The work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, down, down. I'm hearing a song. Who's that by? Fall Out Boy? Sugar, we're going down swinging. I'm going down, down. What song is that? Anyway, that's the song I'm hearing. I think it's by Fall Out Boy. So we go down, down, down to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option. So right now, this person is awakening, and they're kind of absorbed in their own shadows. Like I said, it feels like they're having a breakthrough moment, and they're kind of turning on themselves now because they have no one else to turn on. So what could have happened within this connection is I can definitely see you are being shielded from this person. And it's possible that the universe started removing everyone from this person's life. So their friends, their family, anybody else, it feels like the universe has kind of isolated this person. So the only person they have to turn on, point their finger at is their own reflection. And there is this energy in your person of anxiety, fear, confusion, longing, desire towards you. And, you know, maybe they feel like they've crossed the line here. Maybe they feel kind of in a panic because they don't see how you, once that mask falls and they truly see their own reflection, you know, they have that mindset of how could this person ever take me back? This person was just trying to help me. This person was just trying to love me, and I mistreated them. I let this person slip through my fingers is what I'm hearing. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. So I've already explained what's going on the bottom of the deck. So let's shuffle. And I will say, when I looked up this deck to find the name of it for you, sadly, this person is not making this deck currently, but they do have another version of this deck. It's slightly different, which I actually want to get. It looks good. Why do I feel called to look at that? It's the Eight of Cups in reverse. Interesting. You're no longer accepting less than you deserve. And it's also an indication of this person wanting to come back after they've learned their lessons, wanting to return home. But anyway, so let's get into it. And you chose the highly sensitive tarot, which is highly sensitive. The whale talked about being highly sensitive, which is something that, that's an empath. Someone who's a highly sensitive person is an empath. You could also be neurodivergent, because when I was actually talking about not wanting to watch Twilight, I've heard other autistic people talk about, I'm autistic, and I've heard other autistic people talk about how when something is really popular, they kind of are not interested in it. So you could be autistic. But anyway, you definitely giving me empath vibes. Oh my gosh, Four of Wands, 1111. All right, Four of Wands and the Emperor and the Lovers, my goodness. So first we're going to look at how this person is feeling about you. I'm going to pull 5 cards for that unless I feel called to pull more. So how is this person feeling about you? How is this person currently feeling about you? We have the Magician. So the Magician, the shadow attributes of the Magician can be manipulation. But they feel like they need to use their power for good rather than for that manipulation with the Magician. This is Gemini and Virgo energy. And the High Priestess, look at the owl. I told you, highly perceptive. You, the owl, you chose the owl. So for how this person feels about you right now, it does feel like they want to make something happen with you. They could want to communicate with you, but they feel like you're kind of in this very mysterious, guarded energy with the High Priestess. 5 of Cups, loss. Yeah, I'm not surprised with their energy. And, you know, the High Priestess can also talk about wearing a mask. Anyway, so let's see. Let's see how this person is feeling about you. How is this person feeling about you? We have the Page of Pentacles, and that card is all bent up. So the Page of Pentacles, that is an energy of, they could feel like you are hermit. So they feel like you're very focused on your pentacle world right now. You could be focused on a new beginning. You could be focused on something new for work. But for how they feel about you, they do feel like they have a lot of self-reflection to do and growth with the Page of Pentacles. We also have, like I said, the Hermit. Seven of Swords reversed. So this person is feeling like they owe you an apology for things they've been self-reflecting on, and they need to get something off of their conscience. They have regret here for how they treated you. Very interesting. I said I was seeing the Seven of Swords with their energy. So they are feeling like they need to make things right here. That they have a lot of growing to do. And like I said, with the Page of Pentacles, it does feel like this person feels like they need to come towards you with some sort of stability, some sort of apology, perhaps for things they've been reflecting on, perhaps for that Seven of Swords behavior. We have Nine of Swords anxiety. So they do have a lot of anxiety here, but it feels like this person is feeling like you're focused on other things right now. Maybe even they fear that you're focused on a new relationship. I don't know if you are, though. It looks like you're very much focused on yourself right now. Let's keep going. You could be a tarot reader. How is this person feeling about you? We have the Wheel of Fortune. So this person is feeling like this is a, fated connection, but they feel like there's a lot of clarity. Yes, Ace of Swords on the bottom. So they are feeling like there's a lot of adjustments they need to make if they're going to be with you. And what I find really interesting is this person is on a roller coaster. And that's kind of how I feel you could resonate with feeling like you were on a roller coaster, or there could have been extreme highs, extreme lows, and you could have gotten off that ride. And like I said, if you didn't get off that ride, I feel like you were taken off that ride for your own protection. With the Ace of Swords, I also feel like you're someone who, the Ace of Swords cuts through deception. So you could have seen through this person's cycles. You could have even called them out on it, and they could have projected back onto you. But this person is feeling like if they're going to communicate with you, there's a lot of changes and adjustments that they need to make. But again, I feel like they are also feeling like you got off the ride. How is this person currently feeling about you? We have the World. So yeah, end of a cycle. Yes. Yes. The Empress. I do not chase, I attract. So right now this person is feeling like you're very much focused on your own energy. This person definitely feels divine feminine energy with you. We've seen the Emperor, the Lovers, Four of Wands, and the Empress. My kids are downstairs having a fun time. I can hear them laughing. And we have the World. So here we do see someone walking away. So I do feel like this person feels like you've walked away from this cycle, from this ride that you were on. It's definitely the end of a chapter. So there was an ending here with the World. And like I said with the Empress, this person is feeling like you are nurturing yourself right now, tending to your own garden. But it's also showing that this person feels that divine feminine energy for you. So with that type of energy, I feel like this person sees you as irreplaceable. And I do feel like you have been a catalyst for this person's transformation, possibly by walking away. I feel like this person feels like this is the end, or they fear it's the end, because that kind of looks like the Empress walking off into the sunset alone. High Priestess on the bottom for how they feel about you. So you are quite guarded right now. I feel like you saw through their programming, their deeply ingrained behaviors. I feel like you're highly perceptive, highly intuitive. And I feel like this person doesn't quite know what's going on with you since the ending. One more for how they're feeling about you. Five of Cups, regret. How are they feeling about you? We have the Page of Cups and the Lovers. So the Page of Cups does talk about new perspectives. So I do feel like this person feels like you have a new perspective of them, and not in a good way. I feel like you, again, you saw through that mask, you saw through the veil. And this person, I feel, is worried that you don't see them in the same way anymore, that you don't see them as that anymore, that you see them as someone immature, lacking vulnerability. The Page of Cups also talks about wanting to revisit a connection to see if they can renew it. So I definitely feel like this person wants that. The Page of Cups also talks about the inner child. So you could have brought out this person's inner child, or this person could be seeing you or feeling like you're someone who's very focused on your inner child healing. You and this person, like, you could have triggered their inner child, their wounded inner child. Lovers on the bottom and the Emperor. So this is how this person feels about you. So it feels like this person was lacking maturity when it came to you. And they do feel like if they're going to be with you and grow old with you, that they need to step up here. They need to make the choice to step up and be this Emperor. Interesting. I'm going to get one more for feelings. How does this person feel about you? How is this person feeling about you? We have the Sun. So clearly they feel like you are a source of happiness, also healing. But they feel like you're focused on your own healing and happiness right now. You know, it's funny with the World and the Sun. I do feel like this person is feeling like they took you for granted. All right, let's look at their current intentions towards you. What are their intentions? We have a lot of major arcanas coming out. So their intentions are to heal. They want reconnection here with the Star and the Chariot. So their intentions are to heal and come back towards you and offer you something stable with the Ace of Pentacles. To offer you new beginning, to offer you stability. I keep hearing apology as well. Chariot, so they do intend to come towards you here, to come into alignment with you. Interesting. I stopped mentioning signs. We have Taurus and Libra, we have Pisces, we had Gemini, Aries, Leo, Aquarius, Cancer. Oh my gosh, I want to see what this person is. I didn't do this for any other pile, but I'm really curious about this person. Seems to be in regret. They seem to be worrying about something. I kind of want to see what that is. What are they worrying about here? What are they worrying about? So we do have the Knight of Swords. So I feel like their worry is that I'm hearing too much damage has been done. That you don't think they're capable of being like a King of Pentacles. You no longer see stability in them. Right away, I'm hearing the shadow attributes of the Knight of Swords. So this person is worrying that there were too many hurtful words spoken. They lashed out at you too many times. This is a very reactive energy, Knight of Swords, especially the shadow side of the Knight of Swords. And that's what I was hearing about your person. That when they were feeling confusion, anxiety, fear, when you were like shining a light, the sun, when you were shining a flashlight on their shadow, they became very reactive. I'm kind of seeing, I haven't heard this in a while, but in Nightmare Before Christmas, where Oogie Boogie's armor comes off, which is his potato sack or whatever the heck he's made out of. He looks like a potato sack to me. But when his potato sack thing, his armor, his mask, his emotional armor is removed, all of those bugs, all of those shadows, I call them, start retreating and like screaming. So I don't know why I'm seeing that. Maybe Nightmare Before Christmas is symbolic. But again, I feel like this person they have regret for being quite reactive with you, for lashing out at you, for intense words that were spoken. The song I Miss You by Blink-182 could be symbolic. I'm hearing that line about we could be like Jack and Sally. Those names could be symbolic. All right, let's look at what action this person will take in the future towards you. Future action. Well, so we have the Ace of Cups. This is good. We have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is about being very open in a relationship. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. So it does feel like this person's actions, they do want to take action towards you. And what's really interesting is this Queen of Wands is looking at their phone and they're smiling. So it feels like whatever action this person takes towards you in the future, I do feel like there's an apology coming and there's a stable offer coming. Ace of Cups does talk about an offer of love, an offer of emotional vulnerability. And I feel like whatever they say to you in the future, although I don't know how soon this will be, because I feel like your person is in the middle of, they're kind of in the thick of it right now. But I feel like whatever they come towards you with, it's actually going to cause you to smile. It could be quite positive. Like I said, it does look like they're coming towards you with some sort of offer of love and long-term commitment. And then on the bottom, this is good. This is good. We have the Moon in reverse, which talks about confessions, honesty, clarity, the end of confusion. And I feel like this person has done a lot of work on their shadows with the Moon in reverse. We have the Devil in reverse, which is when somebody comes in more self-aware. So it's also about trying to take control of the situation. So I feel like this person takes control of the situation, comes towards you with honesty, clarity. I keep hearing an apology. Oh, we have Justice, apology. And if you look at this, those bars are being lifted. So it feels like they're getting out of the little prison that Archangel Michael has stuck them in. But like I said, the Devil card in reverse talks about someone who has become more self-aware, who is bringing clarity about their unhealthy patterns, because I definitely feel like this person had some unhealthy patterns. And Justice does talk about an apology, taking accountability, wanting to make things right. I'm keeping that Moon card in reverse. I'm just going to look at the Moon card before I move on. Clarity, understanding about deception. Clarity and understanding about deception. Along the way, you will have to face your inner demons. What used to be difficult to understand is now becoming clear. So after this person becomes more self-aware and faces their inner demons and eats their own heart in the best possible way, they come towards you with some sort of confession about their own inner demons. All right, so what can you focus on right now? What can the viewer focus on right now? What is your advice? What can you focus on? Interesting. Seven of Swords in reverse. That's an interesting one. Let me get my little, I've been using a different book for advice. Let me see what this book says. So I need to acknowledge the challenges in order to move forward. Letting go of self-doubt. So let go of your self-doubt. Know that you are fully capable of anything you wish to achieve. So it is important to not limit yourself with worries or insecurities. This is a time to look at the situation head on. light glimmers on the horizon. And the World card, remember I said you walking towards the sunset? So your advice is to focus on the light glimmering in the horizon. Let go of self-doubt. Let go of that insecurity. Really focus on yourself right now. I'm just going to see if there's anything else. Remain cautious with this person. So remain guarded with this person until they come in and they're being self-aware and they're taking accountability. Remain cautious. Keep protecting yourself. Focus on your own self-love. I'm going to get another one for you. Let's get one more for you. What is your advice? I almost feel like that's more so advice about your person. And that because that advice that I read said that this could be connected to the person you're connected to. And it says a period of clarity and truth. So I do feel that your person right now is going through a period of clarity and truth. Maybe because you put all your cards on the table and said, maybe you put up boundaries. But until there's also the advice that until this person comes towards you with integrity and taking accountability and coming out of that Seven of Swords behavior to kind of guard your energy. So your advice is actually the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is about perseverance. When you're wounded and weary from battle, persevere with hope and determination. So this card, the Nine of Wands, and we have a little black cat there as well. This card asks you to step into your resilience and your inner resolve. You are almost there, so now is not the time to give up. Your hard work and efforts are close to the state of completion and success, and you have the inner strength and perseverance to keep on rising. As time goes on and you become more accustomed to these shifting cycles within your own work and power, you may also be aware of other people who will try and deplete your energy. Do not let go of the root of your inner strength. It too is rising and learning to evolve and transform. So that's your advice. I feel like this was more so about your person. I'm going to stick them over there. And that's more so about you, because I was going to get an advice card about your person as well. But that's the advice that's coming out for you about this. So let's get you some channeled messages from this person. First cut, I am in so much pain. Yeah. But I kind of feel that's a little bit, I hate to say this. I hate to say this because I'm supposed to be like love and light. And I do have, compassion for people. That's why I always, try and give a different perspective of what may have caused this type of bad behavior. But I'm also hearing like they put you through so much pain, so it's kind of their karma. Anyway. Do you even see me that way? And that's what I was getting about your person. Like, they don't even know if you see them the same way anymore. Now I'm hearing tainted love. Let me just look up the lyrics to Tainted Love. I just started hearing Tainted Love. The readings today were I filmed it also yesterday, but very specific readings. Sometimes I feel I've got to run away. I've got to get away from the pain you drive into the heart of me. The love we share seems to go nowhere, and I've lost my light. For I toss and turn, I can't sleep at night. Anyway. That's what I was hearing, though. I said that you could have lost your light because of this person. Once I ran to you, now I'll run from you. And I feel like this is more so from your, like, I don't feel like this person is running away from you. I feel like they were running away from themselves. I feel like you used to run to them and now you're running from them. Once I ran to you, now I'll run from you. This tainted love you've given, I give you all a boy could give. Take my tears, and that's not nearly all. Tainted love. Anyway, that's what I was hearing, tainted love. All right, so let's see what your person wants to say. And I'll go until Spirit tells me to stop. We have, I hope you'll wait for me. All right, so let's see what this person wants to say to you. I'm too afraid to talk to you. I would be too. If I did, anyway. We have maybe. I'm too afraid to talk to you. I'm too afraid to talk. Double whammy. You could be afraid to talk to this person based on how they used to talk to you in the past. How is this person feeling about you? I just want you all the time. Desire and longing. Remember the mermaid. You are so very special. The World card. Oh, I imagine you naked. Desire and longing. Sometimes lust with the siren. You are right. You are right. You were right about them. Well, that's good. Be more selfish. Yes, you need to be more selfish. You're too giving. You're too, like, I'm just hearing that empath thing. You need to be more selfish, and not in a bad way. I mean, you need to, I'm glad this person is saying that, because you do need to protect yourself more. You need to have more self-love. You deserve more. I still don't have all the answers, and one more. I worry about us a lot. All right. So that's where I'm going to leave it, pile 3. Hopefully that resonated for somebody. I always say as long as it resonates for one person, that's all that matters. But the readings today were super specific. So hopefully that resonated. I am sending you, actually, for some of you, I hope it didn't resonate because I hope that you didn't go through that. But if you did, of course, I'm sending you love and light. I'm sending your person love and light as well. And I will talk to you soon. Actually, let me mention dates here. So August 7th, August 2nd, August 8th could be symbolic. We have a lot of 7s and 8s. August 21st, July 2nd, July 8th, July 21st, February 8th, February 7th, February 21st could be symbolic. January 3rd or March 1st, the month of March, February 7th, July 2nd, which I already said. All right, so I'm going to leave it here now, sending you lots of love and light, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.